Hello everyone, Rurikhan here coming at you with another First Impressions video, and today we're going to be taking a look at Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. And what exactly is Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls? Some of you guys might be wondering if you haven't been following the media around Diablo 3. Reaper of Souls is an expansion to the Diablo 3 original title, which was released, I want to say in 2012, but to be completely honest, I can't really remember. It was released a while back. At the time, as you guys are probably aware, I played Diablo 3 for a couple of months, and then I stopped playing it because, mostly because of the auction house. Man, that mostly sounded like it had some really weird accent on it. But yeah, mostly because of the auction house, and the fact that you would not get all that much loot simply by playing the title. You would have to grind for ages or just resort to the auction house to get all of your loot, which is what I ended up doing, and it really took away from the experience. So that was kind of like what happened to me and Diablo 3. I was very disappointed because, for those of you who don't know, Diablo is actually a franchise that is very near and dear to my heart. And I do mean very, very near and dear to my heart. You guys have no idea how many hours I have spent playing Diablo 2. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like, to the extent that I have played Diablo 2, a lot of people would even think that Diablo 2 is an MMO, which it wasn't. It really wasn't, but it was still a lot of fun. So, what exactly are you guys going to be getting with the Reaper of Souls expansion? Well, there's a new act, as you guys can tell. I'm playing through the very start of that particular act, so as to prevent spoiling the story to any of you. I don't want to be spoiling the story to anyone, so I'm just going to show you guys the very beginning of the act. The plot for this particular act, it basically takes place after the fourth act, where I wonder if I should even say where you kill Diablo, but I think that's fairly obvious at this point. I mean, years have gone by. Everybody knows that in Diablo 3 you kill Diablo, right? Please don't tell me that I'm spoiling this for someone, because that would just be insane. It's not like you killed Diablo in every single Diablo title to date. But yeah, so it takes place after you kill Diablo. The Black Soul Stone fell down in the video, as you guys saw. Probably a lot of you guys were like, what the hell happened with the Black Soul Stone? Why didn't people destroy the Black Soul Stone? The starting cinematic of this particular title tells you exactly what happened. So Tyrael was trying, Tyrael is one of the characters, for those of you who don't know Diablo 3 lore, but anyways, Tyrael was trying to go ahead and hide the stone from everyone, and suddenly an angel appeared, which was Malthael, and that angel is the Angel of Death. And Malthael decided that he was going to take the Black Soul Stone for himself and use it to gain power, to become more powerful. Now, Malthael has also gone, he is an angel that has gone a little bit to the extreme of things, because for those of you who aren't aware, the humans in, humanity in Sanctuary is actually the result of humans and angels coming together and mating, basically. So humans are essentially the children of demons and angels. Therefore, one could say that humans have some demon blood in them. Let me just allow you guys to hear the dialogue here.
It's the end of the world. So many have been killed and the Reapers are everywhere.
And there are no survivors.
General Torian was defending a group of refugees at the old Zakharoon Cathedral, but they're likely all dead by now.
Wait, you're the Barbarian who saved Bastion's Keep. You'll save us too, won't you?
Yes, that is why I am here.
That is why I'm here, to kick ass, chew bubblegum, and not give a damn about these angels.
Keep moving. I think we lost her. No, no!
With demon blood must die.
So as you can see, as I was saying, those with demon blood must die. Basically, she is saying that all the humans have demon blood in them because they're the result of the cross-mingling between angels and demons, and that is the reasoning behind why Malthael just wants to destroy everyone. He wants to end the eternal conflict that exists in Sanctuary, the eternal conflict between angels and demons, obviously, and the way that he means to do this is he is going to destroy everything that has demon blood in it, be it demon, be it human. If it has just an ounce of demon blood, it is dead. That is the way that Malthael sees things, and that is why we are actually fighting angels at the start of Act 5. So these are actually, the things that you are seeing here, these are actually created by angels, by the Reapers of of Malthael, which are essentially angels of death. So yeah, that is kind of like the plot, the overall plot that you get at the start of the title. I'm not going to reveal much more than that, so that you guys can enjoy the story for yourselves if you do decide to pick up this title. So, apart from an extra act in the storyline of Diablo, what else do you get? Well, all of the characters are going to gain an additional active skill, as well as 3 more passive skills. All the existing characters, that is, as you level on your path from 60 to 70, because the level cap in Diablo 3 was 60, level cap in Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls is 70. So, as you level through the game, you're going to gain access to a new skill. In the case of the Barbarian, that skill is the one that I will be using now, which is Avalanche, which is those rocks falling down. That is the new Barbarian skill. You can change it, it can become something else, can become a volcano, as per usual with Diablo 3 skills. You can change those with runes and all that stuff, and the skill will become somewhat different. But that is the basic version of the skill. The reason why I'm using the basic version is because I'm actually just using a rune that all it does is it lets me have 3 charges of it. So every 30 seconds it just recharges 1 charge of that skill. So I can either do the skill 3 times in a row, or I can just save it and keep using it whenever I want, so long as I don't use it more than 3 times. And it is it's actually a pretty decent skill. It does a decent amount of damage. It's pretty good. And like I said, all the other classes all get 1 active skill as well as 3 new passive skills. Apart from that, there is also a new class that is being added into the mix, and I had high hopes that there were going to be 2 classes, but unfortunately it is only 1. The class that is being added into the mix is the Crusader, which I will not be showing you guys the Crusader today. I'm probably going to do a separate video for that so that I can tell you guys how I feel in regards to the Crusader. I think you guys have seen my opinion on pretty much all of the Diablo 3 classes. But I will be working on a Crusader character eventually for a later video. Bring down the mountain. That's right, I'm dealing in boulders. And some of you guys that have played Diablo, you guys might think, wow, that is one weird-ass build that you're playing. And I will tell you guys exactly why I'm playing like this in a couple of minutes. But the fact of the matter is, so those are the things that you're going to be getting with Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls. You're going to be getting Loot 2.0, which means you're going to get a lot of improvement in loot, even though Loot 2.0 came in a patch previous to this. So those of you who simply own Diablo 3, you already have access to Loot 2.0, which means that the loot is going to be better to compensate for the fact that there is no auction house anymore, which is really, really good. It has been one of the things that has definitely got me back into the title. Blizzard was very smart to actually allow for that change, if I'm to be completely honest. And on top of that, why are these guys immune? They're annoying the crap out of me. You need to, like, stop that shielding bullshit and just die like everybody else. But as I was saying, I think the Blizzard actually did a really good move by disabling the auction house. And to be completely honest, it was something that I didn't really see coming. I think I've mentioned this multiple times. I did not see that coming. But it was good to see, nonetheless, and I think it is definitely one reason why you guys should at the very least check out the current version of the game if you own it. Or I believe there's also a demo, so you guys can check that out for yourselves as well. You can see how the drops are now, you can see all the different stuff, but if you really want to have access to Act 5 and Crusader and all that other good stuff, you're going to have to go ahead and get Reaper of Souls. Ooh! I will revel in my victory because it was pretty damn sweet. Felt pretty good. Wow, those guys are getting beat up bad. I need to go ahead and help them. Here, have a boulder. Oh, I don't have enough. Fine. Have a bunch of boulders then. Now I have a boulder. But yeah, I've been playing it. I've been having a lot of fun. You're going to be getting, I think I've mentioned this multiple times, but what you do get now, without any interruptions, hopefully. I'm going to stop there. Okay, good. You're not going to tell me anything else. You're going to be getting Act 5, you're going to be getting Crusader, you're going to be getting extra skills for all of your existing classes, and you're going to be getting a new mode, which is Adventure Mode. And again, I will be going into Adventure Mode more deeply in a future video because today I just wanted to focus on overall impressions of the act itself, as well as how I feel about Diablo. I want to save up a special video for Adventure Mode, particularly because I also have to finish Act 5, and I still haven't finished Act 5 to get access to Adventure Mode, and you do have to finish it to get access to that. But yeah, those are essentially the things that you're going to be getting with Reaper of Souls. Now, let's go ahead and listen to some more voice acting here.
Tyrael, why is Malthael doing this? Because he feeds on death. Every time his Reapers kill, he grows stronger. And with the prime evil gone, Malthael believes this is the perfect time to end the eternal conflict.
Humanity has nothing to do with that war.
But we are descended from demons and angels. When Malthael looks at us, he sees demons. Church! All the refugees are inside! Follow me!
That is actually a pretty sweet animation, the whole thing of the stuff getting pulled back into the church. There are going to be a lot of those happening. I mean, that stuff happened in the normal Diablo 3 as well. I feel it just seems to be a little bit more polished now, as is to be expected, because Blizzard had more time to fool around with this type of stuff and get it right. Not to really get it right, because it's not that the first game got it wrong. It was actually pretty good. It's just they've polished up those aspects of the game. The graphics are looking pretty good. I mean, but then again, Diablo 3 already looked pretty damn awesome on PC, in my opinion, so there's no surprise that the graphics are looking really sharp. I really like the art style direction of Diablo 3. I mean, I was a huge fan of Diablo 3. The thing that pissed me off, you guys already know what it was. Auction house and the drops were crap. So, that has definitely been handled. This new act, they seem to be focusing a lot on the theme of death. You guys will notice a lot of sections in the act that have this blue type of motif to it, this electric blue to kind of, that does pretty much symbolizes the colors of Malthael and whatnot, and it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. The boss fights are really interesting. The first boss that I fought, which I'm not going to show you guys here. I mean, this is somewhat of a boss, but it's not really an actual boss fight, so to speak. I already fought one of the bosses, and it was a pretty epic fight. I really enjoyed it. But, yeah.
I know only that he is not in Westmarch. He could have taken the Black Soul Stone anywhere in creation.
But why does he want the stone? Is there any way to find out?
There may be. A sliver broke off when Malthael took the Soul Stone. Perhaps by studying that sliver, I can learn his plans.
Then you study the sliver, while I save this city from the Reapers.
Damn straight. I saved the city from the Reapers because I'm a badass. So yeah, the essential experience is very much the same experience that you get from Diablo 3, obviously with the additional act and skills and all that stuff, but it remains very much true to the series. And like I said, this is a series that is very near and dear to my heart, and it really costed me when I stopped playing Diablo 3 because I just wasn't interested anymore. It was just something that actually I was really pissed off, and I could sense that a lot of the community still is somewhat bitter in regards to that, due to the comments that I see on some of the videos that I did in regards to the patch notes.
General Torian, what was that Death Maiden doing in the cathedral?
She was creating an orb that turns the living into Malthael's death creatures. A single orb can transform hundreds of innocent people every hour, and my men report 2 more of them out in the city.
Soul Crucibles. With 2 of them, Malthael has an endless supply of soldiers.
Then I will destroy these crucibles and cut off Malthael's supply of troops.
Yes, we will destroy these crucibles. So, you're going to be getting loot. Obviously, as you guys can see, this is what we've gotten since we started playing. We've gotten a couple of rares here. I'm not going to be going over loot too much as we are recording this video because I know that I can get pretty much obsessed with that kind of stuff. So I'm actually going to store this sword since it might come in handy, but apart from that, I think I'm pretty much going to break everything else. Can't really see anything that is that great. So you still have the crafting systems that you had in Diablo, that you had in Diablo 3. You have all these same systems, and you have something new, which is, let me just go ahead and store this stuff. You have something new, which is the, what do you call this? It's not artisan, it's the mystic. You have a new character, which we'll be finding. We haven't found it yet in this quest, but I have actually already found it for my character, which is why I'm able to do these crazy enchants. And what it does is the mystic can replace an unwanted property on a rare item or legendary item with a new random property. So what this means is if you happen to pick up an item that has like a specific stat that you don't like for that item, you can actually replace that stat with something else. As a matter of fact, we're going to be doing just that. If you guys notice, I picked up this, which is a really good item. It is a legendary that I've picked up pretty much on the day that I started playing Reaper of Souls. And what this legendary item does is it gives 594 strength, 554 vitality, and all the other stats that you guys can see there. Now, as you see, I have this equipped on my enchantress, which happens to be a caster. So obviously the strength is not really that useful because she's an enchantress, so you would probably want to have intelligence there. It would be a lot better. But the thing that this item does that's really good is if you look at the very bottom, it says equip on follower, gain access to all skills. So this gives her access to all the skills. And for those of you who don't know how followers work in Diablo 3, it's like usually you get to select one skill for each of these lines that you see here. So here you would either choose Charm or Forceful Push. Here you would choose Missile Ward or Powered Armor. Here you would choose Disorient or Erosion. So you would have to pick and choose between skills every step of the way. You equip this on her, you have access to all the skills, which is really, really good. She's actually my favorite type of follower for the Barbarian because she has a lot of crowd control, which is obviously useful if you happen to be playing a Barbarian because it kind of like stuns enemies and does all kinds of crazy stuff. So we would very much like to go ahead and test out the Mystic and see if we actually get lucky with it. So in order to change the strength, I'm going to be needing all these materials that I already have, as well as a Forgotten Soul, which is obtained by salvaging legendary weapons and armor. Now, salvaging legendary weapons and armor is actually a pretty big deal, but I do have an item here that I do not mind losing, which is this, Slave Bonds. It's not particularly impressive, so we're going to go ahead and salvage that, and hopefully it's going to give us that material. It better give me that damn material. Yeah, it didn't. Fuck my life. Okay, so we're not going to be changing that thing, and we got a material that... Where did it? I don't know. But I don't think it's the same material. I think it's a different one, just because I'm that lucky. Yep, I don't have a Forgotten Soul. I have this, Fiery Brimstone. And that's that. That's all you're going to get. So I guess I don't get to change the stat, which is something that I wanted to do. And I did break a legendary item, which I guess it might not be such of a big deal considering that that particular item was not that impressive to begin with. But anyways, let's go ahead and head down to the Westmarch Commons and keep on kicking demon ass. Now, for those of you that are wondering exactly what kind of build I'm running on this Barbarian, I would very much like to show you. I picked up an item which was a really interesting item, which is the 300th Spear. And what this does is it increases the damage on the skills Weapon Throw and Ancient Spear. So obviously I decided let's make a build around that. So we have Weapon Throw here and we have Ancient Spear here, which are taking huge advantage of these increases in damage here, which is why I'm dealing such ridiculous amounts of damage when I do the whole Ancient Spear thing with Boulder Toss. And then on top of that, I also have these boots that also add 11% damage on top of Ancient Spear. So there's just percentages on top of percentages, stacking on top of stacking, which is why I decided to go with this build, and which is why my Barbarian might seem a little bit weird to some people. And on top of that, I also went with a passive skill that gives me 30 Rage, Fury even, every time that I cast the Avalanche, which is really cool, because it's like, I just cast Avalanche, and then boom, Boulder Toss, and I get tons and tons of damage. I've done a 5 million crit using this skill, which is pretty damn sweet, but I'm not here to flex that kind of stuff. So, yeah, is Reaper of Souls fun? Do you guys like the gameplay that you guys are watching? More than likely, you will enjoy Reaper of Souls. If you like that old experience from Diablo 2, because I do kind of relate this more to Diablo 2 than the initial experience of Diablo 3, because with Loot 2.0, things change drastically, in my opinion, and I do get to play around with different builds and all that, because, like, for instance, before I found this item, I was running with a Whirlwind build that I was working on, and I found the item and I was just like, you know what, I want to change this up and just fool around with a different build. I also want to be able to showcase the skill Avalanche for the video that I'm working on, so I was able to easily change the build. And the thing is, before Loot 2.0, it would be very, very hard for you to switch builds, because usually the items you got would be associated to a specific build, and you would not be able to just change that at will. because your build might just become completely unplayable due to the low quality of items that you had. At least that was the case for me. Like, before the patch, I was playing sword and board on a Barbarian, which, sure, you can do fun builds for it, but trust me, the build that I was playing was not fun. It was just like, survive as long as you possibly can. That was the only objective to that build that I was working on. And it was just really, really sad for me, because I'm the kind of guy that really likes fooling around with builds for pretty much every game. I mean, if you guys see some of the content in my channel, you guys will see that I do enjoy trying out different builds and trying out different stuff on multiple games. And that thing actually started with Diablo 2, because like I would be thinking up builds for Diablo 2 all the time, which is why I actually took the whole auction house thing in Diablo 3 so personally. Was because I've always been a huge fan and I couldn't play the game the way that I wanted to. Now with these changes I can, and I do realize that there's a lot of people who don't like these changes, which is unfortunate because I really wish that everybody was happy, but I guess it's just not possible. So I'm sorry for those people that preferred having the auction house and all that and preferred that type of an experience, but hey, that is not really, I feel, that is not really what the Diablo experience was about. That is a mechanic that is more in line with something like World of Warcraft, making stuff really, really rare and really hard to find. Even though in World of Warcraft, even there, it's not that hard to find gear these days. At least I want to say that. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but yeah, I think back in the day when I played World of Warcraft, it wasn't that hard anymore. So there's a lot of good stuff here. There seems to be a lot of content, and again, I will be making additional videos to show you guys about the adventure mode, for those of you that are curious about that, and to show you guys about the Crusader class as well. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. I do want to hear your opinions on it. If you guys think that Reaper of Souls is a worthy addition to the Diablo franchise. Up until this point, to me it is. I haven't really done a lot of the story content just yet. I just killed the first kind of like major boss that shows up. Haven't done anything past that so far. So I still can't really talk that much about the story, but something that I did notice is that they are running some very interesting side stories along the main story, and you guys might be wondering exactly what I mean about that. Well, in Diablo 3 they were doing this as well. Like, you would go into houses and stuff like that as you were going through the game, and usually when you would go inside these houses, some random events could pop up that would give you a little bit of lore, a little bit of information on specific characters of the universe or stuff like that. And what it seems to me is that on this expansion, they're really fleshing out some of those stories, because it just, I don't want to spoil too much of this stuff, but there's a sub-story, so to speak, inside, which is completely optional. Like, if you just go after the objectives, you might not even see this this little smaller story. But there's this group of people that, as this city, the city of Westmarch, is getting completely attacked and overtaken by angels, they are actually taking this opportunity to overthrow the king of this city, because they feel that they've been oppressed by the king and all that. So that they take this opportunity to try and take possession of the throne and to release themselves from his kingdom. I'm sorry, I'm missing the words, whatever. But yeah, there's that little side story there. There's a couple of more side stories that happen. There's a necromancer that shows up, and oh my god, necromancer! I miss necromancer so much. I wish they would have done Crusader and necromancer. I mean, in Lord of Destruction we got two classes, even though I would argue that probably it was easier to develop, it was easier to develop classes for the Lord of Destruction, though I'm not 100% sure if that was the case or not. But, I mean, it was definitely, in terms of art assets and all that stuff, that was definitely easier than in Diablo 3, because, I mean, the art style of Diablo 3 is just really, really gorgeous. I really like this art style. You guys probably aware of that by now. But, yeah, I would assume that it's probably harder to make those art assets. But the thing is, I really don't like the Witch Doctor. I cannot play a Witch Doctor to save my life. So I would have loved it if there was another caster to play, apart from just the wizard, mage, sorcerer. I can't remember what that was. I think it's wizard in Diablo 3. Sorry, but Yeah, as you can see, this is one of the side stories. We're trying to help these guys out in the warehouse by dropping boulders on top of them. Luckily, there's no friendly fire, otherwise all those guys would be dead by now. Bong. I do love tossing out that boulder. It's so much fun. Bong. Oh yeah, I still haven't told you guys. Oh yeah, I did tell you guys about my build. Never mind. I was wondering if I had told you guys about why I did the build the way it was or not, but I did. I already told you guys that. As you can see, we're picking up a decent amount of items, which is always good. It always feels nice. But the thing is, some people might be wondering now, so now Diablo is a lot more casual, is what you're saying, and it just becomes a lot easier, and there's no challenge because you're just mowing things down. And like I said at the start of the video, I'm playing this in Master difficulty, and Master difficulty is not really that challenging for my character at the moment because I'm level 67 and this content that I'm at right now is probably for level 61 or 62. And on top of that, I have a lot of legendaries on my character because I've been playing. I played a little bit during the patch and I've gathered a couple of items. So my character is pretty beefed up at this point. Not beefed up enough to go to like Torment 6 or anything like that, but yeah. So, for those of you who are wondering, so the game is no longer challenging, it's casual, all this stuff? No, there's a lot of challenge to be had here. Look, you want challenge? Try the higher difficulty ratings. Torment 1, Torment 2, Torment 3. There's a ton of difficulty settings that you can have. Not to mention that I still haven't really tried out the adventure mode, so I don't know exactly what kind of challenges await you there. But there is definitely still challenge to be had in Diablo 3. Don't think for a second that Diablo 3 is going like full casual mode or anything like that. But what it does do, what it does make is that you no longer have to play like 150 hours a week or something like that, and completely unreasonable, in order to be able to just enjoy the game, which in my opinion was the case before the patch that came in preparation of the Reaper of Souls.
We've been here for days. These people can't last much longer.
There is a survivors enclave near here. Get everyone over there.
Level 68. But, ooh, new passive skill unlocked. Rampage. I'm actually curious. What does that one do? What does Rampage do? Increase strength by 1% for 8 seconds after killing or assisting in killing an enemy. This effect stacks up to 25 times. I might have to consider using this. I definitely have to consider using this. As a matter of fact, I will be using this in place of another skill that I was using, for now anyways. Again, this is still a build that I am working on. But as I was talking about challenge in Diablo 3 and all that, and the fact that you had to spend an absurd amount of time to actually be able to get this kind of gear in the pre-patch scenario. And in my opinion, that is not what Diablo 3 was all about. What the Diablo series even is all about. Diablo is about just having fun, killing monsters, getting loot, and preferably having fun killing monsters with your friends and getting loot. And there are a lot of incentives to actually playing with your friends. There's a couple of new mechanics in place. There's clans. There's, oh crap. I'm actually a part of the Unit Lost clan, by the way, because I don't have enough time to manage a Diablo 3 clan. Otherwise, I might actually consider doing that. But I've just joined up with the Unit Lost guys. They're pretty cool. So yeah, there is definitely a lot of fun to be had here. Even if you don't have that much amount of time to put into it, it is no longer required for you to dedicate your entire life to Diablo 3 to actually enjoy it. And there is still challenge there. For those people that want that challenge, you can play in hardcore mode. You can go to Torment 6. You can do all that crazy stuff. I mean, you can see that even this mob is giving me a little bit of a run for my money in Master mode. So, as you can see, there's still a lot of challenge for the really hardcore people, so I don't think that anyone is really hurt by the changes. But even still, there are a lot of people that are pissed off about the auction house and all this, and it's like, look, just that's just the way these things are. I wholeheartedly love these changes, and I've been having a blast with the game ever since I started playing it again. Because again, like I said, I've spent many an hour playing Diablo 2, and I did not spend not even 1/3 of that playing Diablo 3, because I did not like the way the game was doing its loot system, and now it's just a lot of fun, and I've been switching up different builds, fooling around, and I've just been having a blast. And on top of that, you still get the Blizzard experience that you usually get with the Blizzard titles, which means you get solid voice acting, as you guys have been listening to throughout these sections. You get those amazing cinematic moments, which I haven't shown, and I won't be showing for you guys. I'm sorry. But it's like, I don't want to spoil the cinematics. I mean, that's kind of like a big deal in the Diablo universe. The cinematics have always been impressive for when the game comes out. Like, a lot of you guys now might see, like, a Diablo 3 cinematic and think, a Diablo 2 cinematic, I mean, and think, that's not that impressive. Trust me, at the time, that was friggin' amazing. At the time that StarCraft came out, the cinematics of StarCraft were mind-blowing. And these days, they don't look that amazing, I know, but Blizzard has always pushed the envelope in terms of cinematics, in terms of the quality of the sounds, as well as the quality of their... Oh, damn it, I might just die here. See, we were talking about difficulty. Let's actually start spamming revenge here. Full rage bar, boosh! Get out of my face. I'm gonna die. Wow, this guy was actually pretty beastly. Sin, Mangler of Heroes. Yeah, he definitely mangled me up. But we're gonna go ahead and change things up for you a little bit here. Don't think you're gonna be getting away with that. Don't think for a second, my good sir, that you will be getting away with that. We will not be having that. Oh, damn it, I don't have any charges on my avalanche skill. This is not looking that good. Let's actually make a tactical retreat. Well, actually, we can kite, considering that we're using weapon throw. So there's that. Thank you. Damn it, these minions are kicking my ass. As well as the boss, obviously. I hate jailer bosses. Take that. Enjoy those boulders. I kind of lost my train of thought. But I do remember that I was talking... Oh yeah, I was talking about the cinematics and the soundtrack. The soundtrack to this title is also really amazing. And I want to say that it seems that in some situations it is actually dynamic. I'm not 100% sure if that happens to be the case or not. But in certain situations it definitely seemed like it was dynamic, like it was reacting to the way that a certain fight was going, due to it really building up the tension in a certain boss fight that I was doing, which, like I said, I will not be showing you guys specific boss fights here, but I've been having a blast. That's just it, and it's really hard to concentrate on commentary when I'm trying to kill these really tough bastards. So you guys go ahead and you just die. Okay, go ahead and get killed. Get out of my face, and then we can move on. So, for those of you that still feel that they've been somewhat cheated with the Diablo 3 experience that took place because of the auction house and the item generator kind of pushing people towards the auction house, because that's definitely the way that I personally felt, I would definitely have to tell you guys, you need to give this game another shot, because with Reaper of Souls, it seems it's becoming a lot of fun. Like I said, I haven't tried out the Crusader, but it's something I'm going to do. There's also adventure mode to look forward to. Loot 2.0, and it's just there's a demo out right now. I think you can play them, the whole thing about with the Skeleton King, and you guys can check out the way that the loot is working right now in the game if you are curious to see if there is that much big of a difference or not. So if you don't want to just take my word for it, you should definitely check out the demo at the very least, because I think the game is a lot of fun, and I think people should definitely check it out again and give it another chance. And I know, again, there's a lot of people in the community that are bitter, but I hope that you guys don't let that prevent you from possibly enjoying what is, in my opinion, a really great expansion. I mean, even Diablo 2, despite the fact that I played the crap out of it, Diablo 2 by itself was not amazing. It was really, really good. Don't get me wrong, it was not amazing. When the Lord of Destruction expansion came out, that is when Diablo 2 became really, really awesome. It introduced 2 new classes, introduced a whole new act. It introduced Uber Diablo eventually. It had a lot of really neat stuff that came with that expansion, and I have to say that it really improved the experience, and it seems that that is what they're doing here. Now, the fact is, it almost seems like they're adding less content, because, like I said, in the Lord of Destruction, you did get 2 classes as opposed to just 1. You got 1 act, but like I said, it is probably a lot harder to create art assets for Diablo 3 when compared to Diablo 2. And Diablo 3 did not really bring the adventure mode, which is something that Diablo 3, Diablo 2, the expansion of Diablo 2 did not bring adventure mode, which is something that the Reaper of Souls is bringing out. So that there is definitely more content here, and there's still a lot of stuff for people to enjoy, and I cannot recommend enough that you guys check it out. If you like the footage that you're watching, more than likely you will enjoy the game. If you don't like the footage that you're watching, I would at least advise you to check out the demo. Really, check out the demo, because I have a feeling that this game is really going to be awesome within the upcoming months. And again, that's just my personal opinion from what I've played so far. I haven't played that much of it. As a matter of fact, I've actually played this particular section of the game like 5 times now, because I've been having problems recording this damn video. I've been having some serious issues with my capture card today. So if this video sounds a little bit weird, it's probably because it's like my 5th attempt at recording it, and I'm probably leaving something
Some
out.
of my men are pinned down in the courtyard, fighting revenants. Please help me rescue them.
I will help you rescue them. We shall destroy them. But yeah, having a lot of fun with it. My friends that are playing, I have a couple of friends that are playing it. They're all enjoying the crap out of it. I believe Stylosa is also playing it right now. So you guys can check his opinion on it as well on his channel, Unit Lost 2. So there's that. There's a lot of people that are playing Reaper of Souls right now, and it is not disappointing up until this point, I feel. So I would definitely urge people to check it out, do some more research, because it seems like this one's actually pretty solid. I realize that I am endorsing this game a lot more than I usually tend to endorse games in first impressions. That is because, once again, like I said, the Diablo experience to me is very near and dear to my heart. Like before I played Dark Souls, if I would have to say one of the games that I had the most fun playing, it was probably Diablo 2. And I'm very, very happy that Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls has come out, because it seems to address a lot of the issues that I had with the initial release, and I'm just having a blast with it. Just having a blast with it, people. As per usual, leave me your comments, feedback, all that kinds of good stuff in the comment section below. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Do you know why this is happening? It's madness!
Get your men to the Survivors' Enclave in the courtyard of the Zakarum Cathedral. Go!